Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be about how I got into the gym and why and where I'm at today. Let's take a scroll back right to when I was in the summer between year 7 and 8 at school, so correct me if I'm wrong, I would have been 12, and it was actually the summer of 2012. So I'd always been sporty, I'd always done all the sports, like that kid at school who really took PE seriously and literally did like every sport. I was never like excellent at one, I just kind of threw myself into them all, and even the stuff I didn't want to do, I'd do it anyway. Like I'd get pushed by teachers and I'd just go for it, like cross country. Never been a long distance runner, but again, I'd do it anyway. So I'd been into all that, and then I don't know, I kind of, in year 6 of high school, I had started to look at myself, and I specifically remember one moment where I was all like in a dressed up outfit ready to do I think it was my leavers performance at school, and I was sat on a table in a classroom and I looked down at my legs, and it was the first time I actually physically remember thinking negatively about myself, but looking at my legs thinking, oh my god, like embarrassed because they were so big, like my thighs. And I'd started to get like conscious of that in PE and stuff as well. So yeah, those negative thoughts kind of started entering my head. I started getting a bit conscious of my legs, having them on show. And then I guess that kind of just progressed. And then when I got that, I did dance as well, I think at that point still. I still did dance, so obviously when I was going to my dance lessons in my leggings and my leotards, I was a bit like looking at my legs, just not really happy with them. And then obviously when you go to high school there's a lot of pressure, so you want to look good, you want to feel good, but you don't necessarily feel good. And I went to a school, so already I'd undergone a lot of change because I'd gone to a high school away from everyone from primary school. So I only actually knew like one person, and so obviously I was concerned as to what people thought of me. And I guess the negative thoughts just kind of kept coming. And just to throw my head off a little bit more, I have always suffered with anxiety and I've always been very, very obsessive. But it was this summer where everything kind of came to a head. So we were wrapping up from year 7, and we have a family home in Bulgaria, or we did, just got rid of that, an apartment in Bulgaria, and every summer I've kind of spent my whole summers growing up with loads of other families from like all around the UK and Ireland and stuff, and all of us kids would literally spend the whole summer exploring, playing in and out the pool, doing our thing. It was literally like a second home, and they were like unbelievable friends. They still are. They're lifelong friends. I just don't get to see them as often now. So I'd spent my summers doing that. Yeah, I had been on other holidays, but it was just in my head routine that come summertime, that's what we would be doing. So like come like the 4th of August, something like that, it would usually be, we'd all go and we'd have like 4 to 6 weeks just having fun in a comfort zone as such, like, because it was like home. This year we'd been building up because for some reason obviously everyone's like, oh 2012, like the world's gonna end, so because it was 2012 we're all like yeah, like can't wait to be all together this summer 2012. Suddenly my mum and dad decided that we weren't going to go this summer, we were going to go to Corfu in Greece instead. My head just went west. So, God knows what actually happened, or to me, I think that is definitely what triggered it. Like, my head just got knocked off, didn't know what to do with myself, wasn't happy, was like starting to just hate on myself, started to really, really view myself as being fat or heading that way, and we ate a lot of crap that summer because they did, when they gave away the free glasses at McDonald's, like the cups, the Coca-Cola ones, we had like a load of them so that we got loads of free ones. So like I was just making it worse for myself because I felt rubbish about my body anyway. And bearing in mind, I was only 12 at this point, so it's quite bad to be feeling that way at such a young age. Or feeling that way ever, but you know, particularly at this sort of age. So I'd already started like working hard at home, trying to make myself feel better, ready for going on this holiday, because I was going to see people I'd never seen before. Like, I was scared, I didn't want to be judged, and so I'd made myself like rough plans of like exercises I'd do every day at home. They used to be up on my wall, and I would literally do them every day. It started in the build up to the holiday, but this whole summer I was literally having a full-on mental breakdown. Like, I would just spend my days crying. I wouldn't see my friends. Obviously it's the time where everyone's like playing out. I couldn't do it. I had best friends that I just wouldn't see because I'd bring them down too. I'd literally just be crying. Everything I thought I'd ever done slightly bad in my life, I would be bringing up like as though I was the worst person in the world. I honestly hated myself. And now I'm older and can see that from a wiser point of view and a less naive point of view. I can fully see why my parents were petrified to leave me on my own, because I really did despise myself. I thought I was the worst person to ever walk this earth. So yeah, that kind of just carried on the whole summer. My mum had taken me to the doctors, but I just was like, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm fine, I'm not ill, don't be daft, like there's literally nothing wrong. Clearly there was something wrong, so like when my mum couldn't be with me, I'd end up spending the days with my auntie or something instead, because I couldn't be left on my own. Then obviously the summer had passed, I'd done it the whole way through, been working out, and that was something that I then started to use. So to make myself feel better, it was like if I didn't do that, I would still be the worst person ever, but at least if I did do it, I'd feel better about myself. So I did that, and then I knew that come the end of summer, I would then have to go back to school, see all my friends who I hadn't seen all summer. And things started taking in my head. It was like, I don't know how I'm going to sort this. So my way of sorting it was almost like OCD kind of just surfaced. Like, when the bad thought came into my head, instead of me then blurting it out and having it to say it to someone, because obviously I couldn't do that with my friends or teachers or whatever, I'd do something instead. So touch something, repeatedly touch it until I felt better. And yeah, although I'd always been obsessive, and OCD is something you're born with, so it's not that like that's when I became OCD, because that's not how it works, but that's when it severely surfaced, because things then started compensating the way I felt, and it was making me feel better to some extent. It was like relief. So that happened, and obviously along with that I was training every single day. If I didn't do all these workouts which I had up on the wall behind me, I would literally hate myself, so I had to do them. I had to. I couldn't not. So I had like some workouts where it was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then I had some which I'd do every day. No matter what I did at school or at netball or anything that day, I would still come home and I would still do them. So there was some I did in the morning, some I did in the evening. I could have done PE, then played netball, then trained, then done this training at home. I would still finish them. I had to, I couldn't not. So that happened. I was always like researching stuff, learning, just gaining knowledge, gaining momentum with it. Kind of always wanted to go into that, but knew it was always going to be like side, because I was very academic. So it was just something on the side which kept progressing. Then I think when I turned 16, I was obviously old enough to actually go to the gym. My dad got me my first gym membership at the local leisure centre, which is crap, tiny, rubbish old machines, all like when you do the hip abductor, like one would go like up that way and then this one hadn't moved yet, and then suddenly it would catch up and you'd just be like, no! OCD brain was just like, no thanks, I can't do this. So pretty much just trained at home, got a treadmill, running all the time, literally just obsessively exercising. Same with eating, that started to go very obsessive. Never to the point where I wouldn't eat, but to the point where like my chicken wouldn't even have any seasoning on it or anything, because I would literally cry and scream at my mum pretty much, because I was that obsessed with my idea of what it meant to be fit and what it took to get a six-pack or like feel good about myself. So I then went to obviously college and stuff, still choosing things maybe to go to Oxford or whatever, never actually going down the route of sport, which I had ums and ahs about, but people were like, no, don't do a sport BTEC, do your A-levels, blah blah blah. You know, like teachers and stuff literally told me don't do it unless you're like county level at sport, which I wasn't. I was just mad into sport, so that didn't happen for me. So then I was always doing it, researching along the side. I then promised myself as soon as I could drive I would join a proper gym, so I got driving, joined a gym. Had to go with someone at first because I was petrified. Started more just doing like cardio and like watching what other people did and like watching machines and whatnot, because like I'd never been in this environment that I'd always wanted to be in. It was like a playground. I was like eyeing up like what I was going to go and do. This is Everlast, by the way, for anyone who's local. And I then got a PT, so I'd asked for it for Christmas again. So I got PT sessions for Christmas, obviously started them in the new year, and you pretty much use the PT sessions to like gain as much knowledge that I could then apply to my training as possible. So like one day I asked if I could do triceps because I was conscious of this part of my arms. Another time I'd want to do abs, so I'd like, my PT was like, you want to do abs for a full hour? I was like, yeah, I just want to learn as much as I can in that hour to like do with my abs. So I used that to my advantage and absolutely loved it. Told my PT how much I really wanted to be a PT, but obviously that wasn't something that was going to be considered at the time. I then, through second year of college, was just like, college, was not interested anymore. I'd always been too academic, wanted to go the gym, wanted to go down that route. My head was in the right place mindset wise. I'd had no life doing my GCSEs. My A-levels, I didn't even cry. I think I cried once through my A-levels. So I'd use the gym as therapy. I literally had. Not that I would ever encourage it, but I would literally skip lessons because I'd always do the work at home. I wasn't someone who slacked, and I trusted myself to do that. So if I wasn't in the right frame of mind, I would skip the lesson, I'd go to the gym instead, then I'd go straight home, do the work, because I would then be focused and ready to do it better than I would have been had I just wasted the whole hour doing it. So I started to learn myself a bit more. Convinced myself, no, not going to uni, you'll find your way into fitness somehow. Then I'd like started working, I was working 2 jobs, magically got my PT course, thanks to someone I had a conversation with. I literally was like, I would love to do a PT course throughout the summer, it'd be amazing, but it's like funding it and everything. A couple of days later, he texts me and he's like, Robin, I've got a course for you. So I'm like, oh my god, perfect. So I was doing that, I was doing 2 jobs, earning a bit of money, training so well all the time, loving life. Then I started to hit this depression. I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I feeling like this? Realised I was going to get my A-level results. Got my A-level results, and even though I hadn't tried in second year, I still got 2 A's and a B. So everyone's like, Robin, you didn't even like focus as much as you usually do, and you still got those grades. Do you not think you're kind of wasting yourself by not even attempting uni? Do you not think maybe you should try it? Will you not regret it? Obviously they're just watching out for me. Everyone around me is saying this, like everyone I was working with and everything, so I was convinced. I applied for a course the week before I started in like whatever was left, so I did like computing for a year. I said to myself, if I don't want to do it by the end of it, I'll quit. Gave myself a year, did it, hated life. I literally was hating everything. Like, I was depressed, I wasn't training properly, I was sat behind the computer the whole time, not happy at all, not earning enough money, just generally not happy in myself. Then finished uni for the summer, again working 2 jobs, earning a bit of money, and actually it was then I think I did my PT course. Yeah, must have been then. So take that back. So I hadn't done the PT course yet, but I was convinced of finding a way. Then, after after my first year of uni is when I got the PT course, got onto that, started doing that. I was absolutely smashing it, loving life. Again, hit that depression. So like, it was A-levels last time, this time it was, why am I feeling like this? Then I realised, oh, I'm going back to uni. And then I was like, hang on, no. Clearly I shouldn't be going back to uni. Clearly that's not for me. Took a lot of debating, but decision was made very, very quickly. I did actually look at doing maybe a different course in sport or something, but I couldn't because I hadn't done a science at A-level. So I just quit. Dropped out. The one thing that like everyone who's known me my whole life, like, you're Robin Hoskin, you've always been academic, you got straight A's and stars at GCSE, why would you drop out of uni? Well, that's because I was not mentally healthy at all. I knew what I wanted in life, and if you've done your research and mindset stuff, you know, like law of attraction, all that sort of stuff, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do what you want. We live once, we've got to do what we want. There we go. I did it. Dropped out, and after making that decision there was no going back. So then had committed to my dreams, and that might sound daft if, I don't know, but like, it's not. It's really not. I then committed myself because there was a decision I couldn't go back on. Yeah, so I just found my way from there. And I was obviously very into the gym then. I trained at very different gyms, and then we're a year ahead now, and yeah, I worked in a gym. It's like magic, honestly. Like, once you commit to something, the universe shifts so quick because you're working. Like, I was literally willing to do anything. I was going to go like down to London, stay with friends, stuff like that. Suddenly I had this job to PT, doing that, practicing, built it up, worked there for a while. Things were working out more recently, and moved on to the next thing quicker than I'd ever imagined, and now I am where I'm at now. Like, I literally couldn't even be more grateful, but dropping out of uni was the best decision. So I can do more on dropping out of uni on a different video, but obviously this one today was how I got into the gym. That is how I got into the gym, and that is how I got into personal training. There we go. So I know I speak and spoke very, very quick throughout that video, but I don't want to bore you. I don't want to make this video last forever, and I know it already has lasted quite a while, so I will stop. And yeah,